was a great smooth start. So this is my first time doing this, be gentle. I have a weird combination of low self-esteem and high IQ. So when my last boyfriend told me he didn't love me, I stayed with him another year because I was pretty sure he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So now I'm back on the market, you know, doing the online dating thing, and everybody likes to talk about dick pics. It's like the hot thing for single females to talk about, so I'll share some stories. I actually haven't gotten any from randoms. I've only gotten them from guys I'm already dating. There was one guy that I dated that was particularly fond of sending them, and he was also particularly fond of drugs, mainly cocaine. And I don't know if you guys know much about cocaine, but one of the side effects of short or long-term cocaine use is impotence. So, if you've ever been sent a picture of a half-hard dick, it's probably the most awkward thing that you could ever deal with in your dating life. I mean, how do you really respond to that? Wish I was there so we could both be sexually frustrated. Just give them a letter grade or a 1 out of 10, nice effort. I mean, if sending pictures of your genitalia is your thing, and that's the situation downstairs, it should at least be followed up by a mouth pick and an apology. Now I forgot where I was going with my next one. Yeah, so I met my roommate's sister the other day. She's a very intense person. She kind of just talks constantly, and you never really know who she's talking to. It's like a running monologue, so I learned a lot about her in about 45 minutes. One of the stories that she told me, she was saying she has issues with sleepwalking after she's drank too much, which I think most of the rest of us just call blacking out. So she got pretty trashed at a friend's place, fell asleep on his couch, and woke up in his parents' room with the parents in their bed. Just crawled up right in between them, slept like a baby. And by that I mean she cried all night and pissed herself. Apparently the dad got up from work in the morning, didn't even notice that there'd been a second woman in the bed. Either that or he's got a really weird history that none of us are quite privy to. The mom just thought the dad was being extra snuggly. I found this stand-up course is a lot like going to therapy, except in the stand-up course I was worried that if I overshare about my experience with drugs, then I would be recommended to go to counseling. And in counseling, I'm worried if I overshare about my experience with life, they're going to recommend drugs. My brother died of an overdose in 2012, and I've got to say, one of the things I don't understand as a tradition is condolence cards. So somebody close to you dies, you mourn them, and then like a month later, you get all these weird cards in the mail from people that you barely know, just bringing it up again. And what are you supposed to do with those cards? Just string them up like the worst ever Christmas cards, keep them on the mantle to remind you, just in case you forget somebody that you loved is dead? Or do you just save them until somebody else dies, you can just cross off the name and reuse them? So my remaining family members are all on the island, so I take the BC ferries back and forth a lot. So I've got their announcements memorized, and one of the ones the part that I like the best is when they say, if you need anything, just ask any crew member. Thanks, BC Ferries, that was really informative and specific. So next time, I'm thinking maybe I'll go up to the chief steward, show him this half-hard dick, and wonder how he would respond to that guy. See if the captain has any suggestions on what to do with all of these shitty condolence cards. Yeah, so my material isn't super polished, and my set's going to be a little bit short. I ended up managing a spill response, and I missed a few classes. I don't know if anyone's familiar with managing a spill response team, but it's super stressful, frustrating, and loud. I mean, it's a lot like group sex. Long hours, I'm bossing around 4 burly men. There's unwanted fluid everywhere. And by the time it's done, I could have gotten everything finished myself. It would have